One of the most precious factors and blessings in our lives is time. Time is precious. Some people say time is money. We say time is life. Time is opportunity. Every minute of our life, every second of our life is precious. It can be used for doing very great things and achieving tremendous levels of closeness to God, of goodness. Or, God forbid, time can be used for evil, for bad things. So we must learn to appreciate time and to use time that Hashem blesses us with for good. In this week's parasha, Chayye Sarah, it opens up with the words concerning the life of Sarah. The pasuk says, the life of Sarah was 100 years and 20 years and 7 years. So Chazal say, why does it say 100 years, 20 years, 7 years? Could have said 127 years. So they say it's to teach us that at each stage of her life, she was perfect. When she was 100 years old, she was as pure of sin as when she was a young girl at the age of 20, who is not, at that age, till that age, one is not punished by the heavenly courts. And then they say, at the age of 20, she was as beautiful as a child of 7. Obviously, the concepts of the Torah concerning beauty are not the concepts accepted in the world at large as decided by Hollywood or the printers of magazines, etc. The concepts of beauty in Torah is purity. Just like a 7-year-old child is pure, so Sarah was as pure when she was 20 like when she was 7. And that's the true beauty of a person. The true beauty of a person is that shine in the face which depicts purity, with no cunningness or evil. The face shows up a lot of things. So when people grow up, usually they become very cunning and very, whatever, braggy. But at the age of 7, everything is pure. And that's true beauty, like Hashem created us with true beauty. And Rashi quotes, after that, the words of our rabbis who say, he quotes the words of our rabbis who say, Kulam shavim letova. The life of Sarah was not about ups and downs. Today she is good, tomorrow not so good. Some days she is not good at all. God forbid, nothing like that. Every day of her life, she was the best. She didn't live a life of fluctuation and ups and downs and good and bad. It was always good and better and better. Kulam shavim letova. In other words, Sarah made use of her lifespan for good. 127 years, all of them used for doing good. Further down in the parasha it says, Abraham zaken ba b'yamim. Abraham was old, coming in days. Simply, this pasuk is not so easily understood. What do we mean? Abraham was old, coming in days. Obviously, you cannot be old if you're not coming in days. Days becomes weeks, weeks become months, months become years, And years, many, many years, is age. So if Abraham was old, obviously he's coming in days. And what do we mean by coming in days? Could have said it, Abraham Zaken, Shahai Harbe Shanim, he lived many years. What do you mean by coming in days? So it implies in the Zohar that the meaning is, Abraham was old, and when he left the world, he took his days with him. What does that mean? It means he utilized every minute of his life for serving Hashem. So every day was, in effect, Torah, mitzvot, and ma'asim tovim. Study of Torah, doing the commandments of Hashem, and doing good deeds, and behaving with good character traits, with good character traits. And so when we say Abraham was old, coming in days, he took his days with him because his days were perfect. There are some people, they live to a very old age, but when they go to heaven, they don't take their days with them because they wasted their days. Some days were worth zero. Some days he did a couple of good things. So he took those 2 or 3 minutes with him. According to how a person uses his time in his life, those days and those hours and those minutes and those seconds are sanctified by the good things that we do with them, and then they link up to our soul. They're part of us. They make up our soul. And when we ascend to heaven, all the good things we did in our lives ascend with us. And that's what it means, Abraham Zaken Ba Yamin. Abraham was old, coming in days. When he went up to heaven, he took all his days with him. He came with his days, not like those who wasted their lives and left all the years and the hours and the minutes and the seconds here in this world. So we see that time can be translated to goodness, and goodness becomes our reward in the Olam Haba. Literally, every good deed we do, we create another section of our Olam Haba and prepare it as a place of the ultimate reward, which is all about closeness to Hashem and basking in the light of His divine presence. We can compare the life of a person to a diamond necklace. Every day in his life is a sparkling diamond. If he uses his days properly, each day will be sparkling like a diamond, and the whole necklace will be perfect, one diamond after the other, all perfect and shining. But some people, on some days they didn't do anything, so the diamond is missing. On others, okay, they did a little bit, but they sinned also, so the diamond is broken, be tarnished, and so on and so forth. Some others, they have the diamond, but it's not shining. They didn't serve Hashem with perfection. So if we want our life to be one perfect, shining diamond necklace, we have to make sure that we use our time correctly. One of the great Hasidic giants, his book is called Arve Nahal. He says in Parashat Vayakhel, when a person is born into this world, Hashem gives him all he needs to achieve the perfection that Hashem expects of him during his lifetime. He has all the spiritual assets, mental capabilities, physical strength, financial capabilities, in order for him to do all the good things he was expected to do in his lifetime. If he misuses his power of thought, his intelligence, his power of speech, his eyes, his ears, his activities, physical, with his hands, with his legs, so all those spiritual energies that we were given become invested in the stupid and evil things that he did in his life. to run after a ball and kick it. So that's it. Of course, if a person does some exercise or plays some games to be healthy, that's understandable, and that's a mitzvah. But people who just make life fun and games, all their spiritual energies and physical energies which were given to them initially when they were born to serve Hashem were misused and wasted. Our minds were given to us for studying Torah. We have to study Torah in depth, toil and labor over understanding Torah. It's a big misconception today that many people think, yeah, the world has its Issachars, who are those sitting and learning, and it has its Zvuluns, who are those who are working. Of course, Zvulun has to support Issachar. Okay, I give charity to yeshivas, and that's it. I've fulfilled my duty. You have to learn. Yeah, I go to a Daf Yomi Shiur every day, half an hour we zoom through the Daf. But that's not what the Rambam and not what Hazal meant when they say that everyone is obligated to learn Torah. They meant really to toil and labor in Torah. Everyone. There's time for it all. Even this horrific epidemic that we're going through has taught many people that you can stay at home and run your business and still make millions. So really, it's not all about commuting and sitting hours in an office and working the majority of your time. There's time to do some serious learning every day and use your mental capabilities to understand Torah. Because for business, you don't need mental capabilities. It's all about mazal. You have stupid people who are billionaires, and you have brilliant people who are working for them as secretaries. So we need brains for Torah. Our spiritual powers and capabilities are meant to be used for doing the mitzvot, for serving Hashem, prayer, and all the other mitzvot. Perfecting our character traits. That's what life is about. A person who invests all his energies, physical, spiritual, mental, into the service of Hashem, all of that goes up to him, with him to Gan Eden in the world to come. He'll find himself entirely with all his faculties and capabilities and talents in Gan Eden. But a person who uses all those mental and spiritual and physical capacities for evil or just for nonsense, he'll find himself, all of him, down under, a place where we don't really want to be. And we are making the decision every minute of our life, every breath we take, every word we speak, whatever we look at, whatever we do, wherever we go. We're investing those energies, spiritual, mental, and physical, in what we were doing at that time. If we made good investments, it all goes up. Abraham Zaken ba b'yamin. If we made bad investments, it all goes down. They were all wasted. So, we have to know what a huge responsibility we have to make use of our life for doing good. And to know that every second is a potential of eternity. Every second can be turned into eternity. If you use it for good, it becomes part of your soul, and your soul will exist for eternity, cleaving to Hashem. And anything we misuse, we've wasted and destroyed. And of course, the person will be punished for his sins, but beyond that, there is no eternity for those parts of the soul which he invested in wasted involvements. So time is precious, life is precious. Even today, that all of us, the whole world, are occupied with this frightening epidemic which has claimed so many lives, already 1.25 million. and many people are ill, and many people are suffering. We have to do everything in our power to take care of our health, because health is life. Life is time. Time is Torah, mitzvot, and maasim tovim. A person has no right to take chances and take these things lightly and say, everything is in the hand of Hashem eventually, so He'll decide who will live and who will die, who will be healthy, who will be sick. That's true. But the mitzvah of Nishmartem me'od nafshotechem, you must be very careful to guard your health and take care of yourself, is a very important mitzvah at this time, which we have to keep, because our lives are worth a lot. They are great potential for doing wonderful things, which the effect of those wonderful things will be the enjoyment of the soul eternally basking in the divine presence.